Okay, so since I'm leader this week, this shouldn't take too long. It's actually not that big of an assignment point wise. Um, I think we've all got our articles. I did notice one of them was a 2009 article, and they need to be in the last 5 years.
Well, let me check mine. I should have checked that.
I think the rest of them were all good.
You know which one it was? It might have been mine.
It was, no, I don't actually remember. I read all of them today, and they're all
No,
sort of
you're
crammed in
okay.
my head.
Okay, that's fair. They all kind of jumble together when you do that. All right, let me look here. Mine was the antecedent intervention zone. Yep, that was mine. Of course.
It has a lot of great information in it, though. If you'll just try to update and put another one on there that's newer just because she stressed that, or if you want to ask her if it's okay to have one article that's not current, either way, I'm fine. We had a lot of good articles, I thought. I assume everybody sort of read through them and sort of know a little bit.
I think like the points that we all picked are really strong because it, talks about like finding the whole picture.
Right.
And I feel like, we did do that. Like everyone, I think, went, a good direction, but still stayed within the boundaries of what we should have had. So
yeah,
I want to find mine on antecedent because it is an overall whole picture kind of situation.
right.
I mean, antecedent interventions are in everything that we do. So anything can be argued. So I'll look into that. They should be fairly easy. I only found like 5 articles. It was hard, but I have some more vocabulary for it.
Yeah, it was a little difficult to find the newer stuff because it seems like it's fairly accepted that it's effective, and they're sort of just trying to branch out into looking at new literature from what I could tell. But I think we did a really good job because there's the PEC systems, there's story retention, comprehension, there was
the visual aids,
visual schedules, and then there was like how to train parents for home use, and how it's important to go outside the clinic, that kind of stuff. So I think for the most part, I think that most of the articles, we have a lot of pros that we can talk about how it is multifaceted in its use. But we need to talk about how this will apply to our clients, our direct care staff, our agency. And my thought was that several of them were done in a clinic or an ABA center. Some of them were done in a school situation. Some of them were at home. And I thought that, in my opinion, it was good because they, most of the age groups, there were a wide range of age groups, which we will, in the clinic, we talked about from like 2 to or 18 months to 9 years. There were several of them that showed that. As far as direct care staff, it was with teachers, like digital education teachers, it was with parents, it was with direct care staff in clinics. So it can be shown that it can be easily taught to different groups to implement. As far as diversity, equality, inclusion, we did find studies from different parts of the world. I think that that's good. If anybody else has, I didn't find as far as like the participants, what their background, the race, whatever their situation were in that for us coming up into a multicultural center. I didn't see where we found a lot of that. I think we found that it does work across different age groups and communities, but I don't know how it actually translates to who we have. Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Okay, so sorry, I missed that because my dog's a booger right now. Um, Great timing. He never barks either. That was very strange. Um, Great timing. Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm clear on your question. So we didn't find any articles you're saying about like supporting the different types of like demographics. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, because
Okay.
we don't really know because it didn't really discuss it in those articles. This is
Yeah.
pseudonym and age, so we don't really know the background. But we did find articles from Scotland, from Australia, and United States. So we
I
did
didn't
find
notice where they were
them.
from. That's good.
So we did find them from different, but we don't know like she was like Hispanic or anything like that. So that would probably have to be put into our paper somewhere that we don't know the demographics of the participants in the study.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
So we can, yeah, I mean, as long as I think we address it, like, yeah, I mean, we're going on the assumption, this is not the words I'd use, but, um, I'm going on the assumption that, because they're from like different areas, that the likelihood of the demographics being varied is likely because like, I mean, like you said, like Scotland, Australia, like just different types of lives, I think, walks of lives and cultures and things like that. So that, I mean, right there,
and
at least that.
and those countries that have like a universal healthcare system, and so they're probably treating different people different. Like it's not just people have insurance or
Right.
that take certain insurance or all
Yeah.
this other stuff we have
Or
to run
have the
into.
ability to pay $100,000 for our services every year. Yeah.
Right, right. So we could bring that into the discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm
also
just trying to go through here and answer everything that we need. Let's see.
in terms of diversity, maybe I saw like the material used to for the visual schedule in some of the research they to make it cost effective they just use pen and pencil, so that's readily available, so
Right,
we can use that, bring that up as well.
right.
Yeah.
And that, obviously like visual schedules too are much cheaper than they were when I first started all this. You couldn't just print stuff on the computer and put it on anything. You had to buy certain materials. So I think that that's a good thing too, that you can visual schedules can be as simple or as complex. They don't have to be on iPad. They don't have to be electronic in some way. They don't have to be fancy.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good point.
Yeah, I think
Um,
it will be helpful for the low income family, the community we are working on.
right. And I, assume that our clinic would have the ability to um, have some of those materials, but also I assume for Cass, I know you work in a clinic, you do parent trainings and how to teach parents how to do that and do simple materials and that stuff for what's needed. So
Yeah. A lot of the times, well, a lot of times too, it is so cheap to make what I make. Like if I make a first then board, you know what I
yeah,
mean? And they really want to use that at home. It takes me an hour to literally print off the same exact thing I made it already. I saved it on my
laminate
computer.
it.
Yeah, cut it, glue it, and put it together. You know what I mean? So like that
Right.
takes me, and then I send it home. You need replacements? Let me know. Like that's a lot of the times like I can provide that. That's not,
Right.
anything unethical because it is so cheap. It probably costs us less than $1 to make.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we did too.
So yeah. And so a lot of the times, like we'll go even in the home, train them there. They'll watch me do everything I do. Like my therapist or I do. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm going to literally, it's like a one session fade out, parents now taking control. It's like, it's very cheap. It's very like, and visual schedules are the same way too. Anytime we've had to use those, like, it's very easy to pick up and learner friendly for those caregivers. So it's, yeah,
Right.
we're in a good
And,
standing with that. Sorry,
and
I
we,
didn't mean to get in that tangent.
no, that's, and we, you know, I don't know, we've talked about it in the last meeting that, you know, our materials need to be supportive of the person that's using them. They're individualized to color of skin, or
Yeah.
they wear glasses, or in a wheelchair, or whatever too.
Oh yeah. I mean, everything, actually, that's really cool thing that my center, so I'm gonna get on a real quick one. That's the cool thing that my center is doing. And I encourage you guys, if you don't already do that or have that awareness, like, we have a very wide group of races and cultures within my center. And all of our books at one point when I got there were white kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, how is this girl that's struggling with, you know, topic perseveration about how all of her white therapists are more beautiful than she is, and she grows up with blue eyes, white skin, and blonde hair. And I'm like, honey, that's not how that works. You are gorgeous how you are, but that's not enough. She needs to see that, like, around her and encouraged around her.
Right.
And so our dolls were changed, our books were changed. I just literally read a book to, like, it's like a children's book about race and racism, and like, it's like our first conversation on race, and that's like part of our story group, and like, that's what we're going to learn today, that like, you guys are all so different and all so worthy. And
Right.
yeah, so those, like, it's, sorry, that's just my little tangent, is something I'm really, really proud that our center has adopted. So
That's great. We are doing our center too. We have a committee that is going through materials and making sure that it's all inclusive and
yeah,
that stuff. So it's, yeah.
that's cool.
So really, I think everybody's signed up, but maybe Cass and Jenna
Oh, I
have
forgot
not.
to do that. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't have to do it beforehand. I just put it up there in case somebody wanted to do that. So when they were reading through the articles, they could sort of focus in on whatever they were writing
Yeah.
about. So those, I think there's one more assignment that needs to be written, like it's a paragraph or two, and then if the other person could edit and make sure our, because there'll probably be a lot of references are in good order and done well, that would be helpful.
What's the spot that's missing? I don't have it pulled up because I have the.
Let me see. We have.
I'll say, I think it's the conclusion. It's the very last one that's missing, I think.
Yeah, it's yeah, the final 1 to 2 paragraphs draw conclusions about the level of evidence supporting this intervention for your situation. And so she already signed up for it. So Cass, you are references and editing.
All right, I can do that.
So you can, like, I am actually going to be out of town this weekend till Sunday. So I will, if we could all have it maybe Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and that'll give me, that's good, because that'll give me an evening to be able to.
Yeah, and it's not due till Monday. So I can help if you for some reason run out of time or whatever, I can help on Monday too. I get off at 3. So but anybody have any questions? I know it's not a very long meeting, but I think we all sort of got ahead of everything.
I have a question real quick. Is anybody, where do we feel like, because I can get a reference, like I have to go back and I have to search anyway. Should I stick with an antecedent intervention kind of approach, or is there something that maybe we need a little bit more material on? Like, so I can make sure I'm anyway. I don't feel like I missed anything, but I just want to need that article. I want to do that work, you know.
Maybe if you're going to look at articles, have it for a clinic in our age group that's just giving more supportive evidence of working with that group, and in a clinic atmosphere, and really, I guess those are the biggest things that she wanted us to prove.
All right, I'll find another.
Anybody else have anything to share, add, or?
Golden.
Okay. Well, that was a quick one.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Also, yeah, you don't
Um,
feel good, girl. Get some rest.
I know, it's been a hard week. But I
We had a
will,
hard week last week too.
I always have hard weeks.
Oh, girl, I'm with you though. Just know that. All right. Clinic, our age group. Got it. All right. And then by Sunday afternoon?
Yeah.
Okay,
that should be good. Everybody good with
good.
that?
Yep.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
okay.
Okay, I'll see y'all later then.
All right, thanks,
See ya.
guys.
Take
All right.
care.
Thank you very
Bye.
much. Yeah,
Bye.
bye.